Hi everyone, back at it again. This one's been in the works for a while because I had to set it aside for a few months because of thesis crunch time and all. I also had to set aside the reason for this speed paint, which is Fallout New Vegas. I finally started playing it properly over quarantine, and let me tell you, I'm having an absolute blast so far. So let's have a little chat about the art, the game, and my inspiration for this piece. So I don't know how much it matters, but I guess I'll kind of give a couple sentence synopsis for the game for those who haven't played. This isn't exactly a video essay or anything, and Fallout New Vegas is pretty damn popular, but it might be nice just to have here. Okay, so more or less, New Vegas follows the story of the courier, who is a courier who starts the game by getting a bullet to the head from this shady character right here. And then you get better. It's fine, you're fine. Don't worry about it. You're nursed back to health by the local doctor, and you begin your quest to figure out who tried to kill you and why. I'm sure you can guess that you're probably gonna be heading to New Vegas. So I'm sure everyone here knows that at the very least, Fallout is, a series that is about the post-apocalypse, and it takes place in the American West, that kind of thing. So you can kind of understand the aesthetic that goes into it, even if you haven't played it. People who know me will not at all be surprised when I say that the shady character I mentioned, Benny, is one of my favorite characters in New Vegas. He's a fancy, smarmy, old-timey lad that I love so very much. He's also, of course, a pretty iconic character. I mean, that suit, come on. So I figured he'd be a good choice subject-wise for a New Vegas tribute piece. I also already had some ideas in mind for elements to include based on his character and his role in the story, but we'll get into that in a little bit. Playing New Vegas for the first time, I feel like there are so many options to consider whenever you're making any kind of choice, which I love, but it also means I get conflicted really easily. I wouldn't call myself a completionist overall. I mean, look, I played Assassin's Creed 2, but I didn't get all of the feathers, you know what I mean? It's just, I'm not insane. But I do try to do every quest I can in any given game, especially open world ones, so this is no exception. I've spent so much time just running around the Mojave, doing random things for random people, that it's taken me forever to actually get to the plot of the game. New Vegas is a game that I feel like really rewards you for exploring things on your own, too. It's nice to actually want to check out random areas on your own, instead of always doing things by the book. Or by the quest, I guess? You get me. My journey through the Mojave has been a super interesting and, like I said, a kind of conflicted one for sure. I've had a really hard time deciding which faction to side with for my first playthrough, even knowing that I'll definitely go back and play the game another time and make different choices, all of this kind of thing. I ended up settling on the Yes Man route after following Mr. House for a while and deciding kind of last minute to change over. I almost went back to my evil capitalist computer overlord a few times, I will admit, but no, that'll be for another save file. In part because I really wanted that Bioshock achievement this time around. Like they say, a man chooses. Am I right, folks? For the moment, my courier, his name is Toru, naturally, because why not just gently place your favorite OC into literally everything you do, is busy helping out his companions and planning for the final battle at Hoover Dam. And also outrunning Legion assassins, cause my dumbass decided to kill everyone I could at their main encampment, and now I'm vilified. So, brief spoilers ahead, I know a couple people who are watching this are planning on playing the game pretty soon, so I'm gonna include this just for their sake. So skip to here to avoid this if you want. Alright, so Initially, my plan when I got the mission to follow Benny to the Legion camp was to choose the option of honorable death via knife fight. I had already heard a little bit about this part of the game, so I knew the choices that were available, all that jazz. But once I talked to him in Caesar's tent, I was like, hang on, can I save this dumb idiot? And actually, yes, you can. I mean, you don't see Benny ever again, because he teleports off the map and never comes back, but he thanks you, and shouldn't that be enough? So anyway, I set about freeing this man, only to discover he is fucking squishy. I mean, you could easily knock this boy over with a pail of water. Or maybe it's just that Caesar's guard all have pneumatic gauntlets? I don't know, it's unclear. In order for Benny to even get close to escaping the camp without dying, even with a stealth boy, I ended up having to kill whoever got aggroed once he was free, which was everyone. All of them. Every Rome LARPing, slave driving dude bro. Don't worry, it only took Arcade and Edie and I like 5 tries. Saves coming. The best invention since, I don't know, sliced bread maybe? New Vegas. Best game, 10 out of 10. Highly recommend.
Yippee-yay, there'll be no wedding bells for today. 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 I go riding merrily along. Jingle jangle. And they sing, oh, ain't you glad you're single? Jingle jangle. And that song ain't so very far from wrong. Jingle jangle. That song And that song ain't so very far from wrong. Jingle jangle.
So, all of my post-apocalyptic shenanigans aside, let's get into the drawing, shall we? I wanted this piece to be reminiscent of the art you see of Catholic saints. A lot of them have specific iconography used to represent what they did in life or who they protect. For Benny, I knew I had to use St. Jude, who is the patron saint of lost causes. I don't know, it just seemed fitting. Fun fact, apparently Jude was given this title because so few people prayed to him out of fear of accidentally invoking Judas, the betrayer of Jesus. Religion's pretty wild, huh? After settling on a saint with a cool moniker, I decided to look through St. Jude's symbols. Typically, he's seen with a club, along with some kind of medallion or relic, usually with some kind of image of Jesus on it. He's also often depicted with a flame hovering over his head. I knew the flame was a must because it's a pretty common symbol to see in Catholic saints, so it definitely invoked the feeling I wanted. I also used, of course, the platinum chip as Benny's quote-unquote medallion. Instead of a club, I went ahead and gave him his gun, Maria, because she's so cool and also fits the idea of a chosen implement or weapon that a saint typically has relating to their profession. As I was going through this whole process, I also decided to bring in a bit of the symbolism you see in tarot cards, specifically the card of the Magician. This didn't play as much of a role as the stuff I already discussed, but it led me to adding a few things to the composition that I actually really enjoy. First off, the Magician's meaning in either orientation fits Benny really well. Upright, it represents power, resourcefulness, and inspired action. Reversed, it represents a waste of talent, untapped potential, poor planning, and manipulation. Though I don't know much about tarot, I think it's neat that taken in sequence, these two meanings kind of feel like an Icarus narrative, sort of flying too close to the sun and all that kind of thing. The same theme is definitely fitting of Benny as well, so I thought it was perfect to include here. For the symbolism of the Magician, I really only ended up taking one major thing, the snake. In some but not all depictions of the Magician, he's wearing a belt around his waist that looks like an Ouroboros, or a snake eating its own tail. I put the snake on Benny's arm instead and decided on a sidewinder, a type of rattlesnake indigenous to the Mojave. The Ouroboros represents a continuous cycle because the snake forms a single circle, which is kind of like the Magician's other symbol that is frequently shown in their cards, the infinity symbol. I also really like this idea for Benny, even though I didn't quite implement it here, because, and again, really brief spoilers, when you encounter Benny at the Legion camp, one of the things he says to you is everything. He gives you all of his plan, he gives you all of his resources for what he was going to do to take over New Vegas. When you ask him why, his response is that, hey, I'm gonna die, so I might as well have someone else do this in my stead, even if I won't be around to see it. Which kind of feels like the sort of unending cycle that, the Ouroboros represents. Apart from that, I guess you could say that the placement of Benny's arms is similar to the Magician too. One arm is pointed upwards, and the other is kind of angled down, I guess. His right arm was definitely placed like that on purpose, because it doubles as a reference to the super cool secret clubhouse hand signal that a lot of saints and angels do in Catholic art. I guess maybe you could say that his gun is sort of a stand-in for the Magician's wand too. I don't know, some of that is a stretch, but overall I do like that combining these various bits of imagery led to a pretty neat composition. we're about getting to the point in the video where I should probably mention that, yes, once again, OBS has decided to screw me over and delete some of my footage. You'll notice after a fade to black at one point, I suddenly reveal that I've gotten a lot more work done, including adding the snake. Yeah, that's where like, I don't know, 4 hours of footage were supposed to go? Thanks, OBS. But okay, I think that's all I have left to add. I'll leave you alone now, in peace. Enjoy the rest of the video, guys.
of those dear hearts and gentle people who live in my hometown, because those dear...
And we're done. Thanks so much for watching this one, guys. My next video, I think, is going to be a bit more of a challenge or prompt-driven one. I'm pretty excited for it, actually. Until then, check out my social media on the screen now or through my About page, where you can find a complete list along with my commission info. See you guys soon. Bye!